Well, hello, my beautiful water signs. This is Bejewel, and I'm Ivy. I'll be doing your reading today, and we are doing a reading, general reading. So no specific topic. This is for my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces babies. It could be your sun, moon, ascendant, or if you have any major placements or you just have a lot of water in your chart, this is for you. As always, take what resonates, take what you like, leave the rest. And if it's not for you, it's no big deal. Just move along and may have another reading in the future that will be for you. Yeah, so I'm going to do basically a traditional Celtic cross, and we'll go ahead and it looks like I'm not really shuffling these because I'm not. I've already shuffled and we're just kind of zhuzhing them a bit. All right, so we're going to start out with our significator. And this is basically you in this reading. So my water sign's got some earthy energy right now, so that's not a bad thing. This next card is going to be our challenges. So this might be internal and maybe external. Kind of see it as crossing energies or opposing energies. So we've got the Five of Swords going on. In our third position, we have the King of Pentacles, and these are I would say internal or even subconscious influences. To me, this is the wateriest of all of the placements. So this represents our subconscious influences. We have in the recent past the Five of Swords. So that's interesting, but it's actually a reversed. I do read reversed placements. I find them to be helpful and provide an additional layer of insight and energy that I can work with and interpret. Here in our goals placement, we have Page of Wands. In our recent future, sorry, sometimes time is very timey-wimey. In our oh my gosh, in our near future placement, we have the King of Cups. Here in our seventh placement, which is going to be, it's you, and it's very much how you're currently approaching a situation. So similar to the querent, but this is more about your mindset and sort of your actions around the energies around the issue. I don't even know if I said this is for October 2024, and this is for approximately October 15th through the 31st. So this last part of October 2024. All right, so then we have our card for our environment. And this is, if you've got a household, if you've got a work environment, it's like the culture that you're embedded in. We have our hopes and fears here, and then our final outcome. And I know you can't really see these cards super well. As we delve into the cards, I'll move them around. You'll get a better view of them. So this is what we're working with right now. So what I'm going to notice right away is I see one major arcana and it is reversed. So that's interesting. I am not seeing a lot of water, interestingly enough. We have one water. We've got a few wands. And, oh, yeah, we've got one water here, and then we've got, so it's a smattering. So this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So I want to go ahead and address this Five of Swords. So, well, let's start with the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, you've got some earthy energy that you're coming in. And definitely this like trying to handle business energy. And that may be very literal as opposed to metaphorical. All right, so we have our 5 of Swords energy. And the way I like to interpret 5 of Swords is that this was a conflict, but it's one that it's basically done. It's a recent conflict, and you are better off after this conflict, both in terms of that it's done, but also that you have gained something. I love this idea of him holding some of the swords, right? So I like to see it as a kind of a light mastery, but it's really a more specific energy of ceasing these like little nitpicky arguments. This is kind of, I would say, you being the better person. Let's go into this subconscious desire, and we've got the King of Pentacles. So whereas the Knight is that, I call the Knights the fixin' to energy. It's like you're getting onto the playing field of the material. You haven't mastered it yet, but you're definitely you're there. You're there to play. You're there to learn. The King is the one that has mastered it. And so that is your desire. That is, your subconscious yearning to really master this thing called the material realm. Now, in your recent past, we have the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Wands. It is showing up as reversed. So what that's telling me is that, again, we've had this resolution of a conflict. And so harmony is starting to come about. Whatever previous tensions or disagreements that you've had, that these are actually coming to an end or have come to an end, and is allowing the space for peace and cooperation. Now, it can also indicate like maybe avoiding conflict, but particularly in light of this 5 of Swords, I'm getting that the conflict is done. So good for you. Good job. For some reason, that's really coming up as a family argument, like political in particular, like specifically. So it feels very much like you've taken the high road and have kind of learned what you should and should not say around certain people. I'll leave it at that. All right, so we have Page of Wands in our goals position. So the page is really going to be a representative of like inspiration, adventure, potential. I think I called the Knight the fixin' to, and that was incorrect. I see the page as the fixin' to. The Knight is the one that is more action oriented, is actually doing the things. The page wants to do the things and is about to do the things. So, I'm seeing you coming into, or at least desiring, having a goal of this time of creativity. This could be associated with risk taking, and that you're ready. Like, you want to pursue your passion. You want to take a risk. You want to move forward on some bold ideas and ventures. All right, so here in the near future, we have the King of Cups. And again, remember the King we're looking at mastery. So he has mastered emotions. So what's really great about this position is that even though this Page of Wands is like, put me in, coach, put me in, The King of Cups shows us that you're not coming at this from a lack or from a place of, I feel like I need to take action because I need to fill this big hole in me. Like, on the contrary, you're moving into this very stable emotional position, which I'm also wondering is coming in to coincide with Scorpio season. So as a water sign, you'll feel, especially my Scorpios, you're gonna feel quite at home in your skin emotionally, moving into the last part of this month and going into November. So that shows me that you're in a good place emotionally. Now, that being said, I love the star card because to me this is like hope personified. When I see it reversed, it's showing me that something has caused you to give up a little bit of hope. And I hope that's not the case. But I'm reading this as, and it feels temporary. All reverse cards can easily be flipped over, right? Just a perspective change. And I think what I'm seeing is these recent battles, these recent arguments, this feels like it's more like hope in humanity. Like you're not internalizing this, but you've just had some recent disappointments in people or maybe groups of people. And that's coming through as just like a little bit jaded, not intensely hopeful. And that's okay, because I feel like you're going to get out of that pretty soon. This card kind of has a similar vibe. This is your environment, and this Two of Wands to me is usually this card of mastery, of having, you've got what you need. You're looking at opportunities. You're about to make a decision. There's like this confidence and this decisiveness that comes through. So when we have this reversed, to me, it indicates that there are some elements of indecisiveness and just general fear of change. And so this isn't you. These are people around you. This is an environment around you. So maybe you're in a workplace where, maybe you were working on a big project and you were excited about it. Maybe there was a lot of bickering, but like you were able to wrangle the team and get them on the same page. And then once you came up with like this new product, for some reason your organization was like, nah, now's not the time to release it, or now's not the time to implement that. And they kind of put it on the shelf. That's what this is feeling like. And so, it's good to recognize that this is not you. This is your environment, but it also may be leading to, again, this kind of like, I was hopeful, but now I've lost a little bit of hope. This hopes and fears card, the 8 of Cups, I typically interpret this as walking away from disappointments. It has this air of disappointment, but you're walking away from it. You're not being stuck in it. So the hope is that, you can distance yourself from this disappointment. And the fear is that maybe as you go out, you're going to keep that disappointment hanging on. But in general, this card makes sense given some of the other things that you've gone through. So the final outcome is very interesting to this particular reading, because what I'm seeing is that you're starting to get into your head. And perhaps, again, related to these disputes, this bickering, maybe, you know, this loss of hope, which anytime I see swords, particularly what I would call an ill-dignified sword, to me that indicates that someone's starting to get into their head. Now the Seven of Swords is like this sneaky guy moving off, you know, taking off with some things, right? So this can be espionage, this could be outright theft, just kind of some underhanded stuff, which interestingly enough is coming through as ill-dignified Scorpio. So Scorpios, I'm going to specifically talk to you right now. You have taken the higher ground, and I'm going to encourage you to stay on the higher ground. Even though the arguments and the fighting has stopped and you now have come out in a good place, what I'm picking up is that there's a tendency towards this deeper disappointment or this deeper hopelessness, and you might be plotting a little bit. So I would say rethink that. Continue to take the higher ground. And remember, you have this King of Cups. So I would encourage you to stay out of your head, get into your heart, feel your way through it as a emotionally mature, elevated person, and that will definitely take you far in this reading, or that will definitely take you far in these upcoming energies. So I hope you found this helpful. Definitely an interesting, almost specific feeling reading. And if you got something out of this, definitely give me a thumbs up. If some of this really resonates, I would love to hear, you know, see your thoughts in the comments section, and forward this to a fellow water sign. And I will check you guys out in the next video. Thanks.